Hello, welcome to our garden. Once upon a time, children came to this garden and we sang songs and had stories and played with puppets. We danced with the pom-poms. But now all we can do is see each other on this video. But that's fine too, that's fun. We're going to sing about the sun. The sun is shining down. It's springtime. There are flowers all around. So let's sing about the sun. Everybody likes the sun to shine, so let us sing this funny little rhyme. Deedle deedle dum dum, deedle deedle do. I like the sun, and how about you? The sun keeps us warm. It helps us grow. It helps animals and plants and flowers to grow. Aren't these beautiful flowers? And the birds like the sun too. Can you hear any birds singing? Maybe at your house you can hear them singing. I can hear birds singing. I have these little birds that I'm going to put on my fingers. This is a blue jay. We don't have blue jays around here. This is a blue bird. I'll put this other blue bird on my thumb there. This one is a cardinal, and we don't have cardinals around here either, but they're in a lot of other places. And here's a baby crow, and we do have crows all over this garden and all over where you live too. All the birds sing up in the trees now that spring is here. All the birds sing up in the trees now that spring is here. Listen, listen, what do they say? Springtime is a good time to play. All the birds sing up in the trees now that spring is here. I'm going to put these birds down. Let's sing the same song again and do it with your fingers. Make birds with your fingers. All the birds sing up in the trees now that spring is here. All the birds sing up in the trees now that spring is here. Listen, listen, what do they say? Springtime is a good time to play. All the birds sing up in the trees now that spring is here. Do you know that in the springtime, it's springtime now, and in the springtime, birds, mommy and daddy birds get sticks and other things, and they make bird nests. And I have a real bird nest here I want to show you. Some birds in this garden made this nest. They took little sticks and twigs from the ground and maybe from trees, and I think there's some pine needles in here, and they made it soft. So this is how it looked on the outside. On the inside, it's all soft. And the birds, the mommy bird lays eggs in here and then sits on the eggs, and the eggs hatch out, and baby birds are in the nest, and the mommy sits on them and keeps them warm until finally it's time for them to learn to fly, and they fly away. I have a bird nest puppet here I'm going to show you. This is my puppet. You can tell this isn't real. This is my bird nest puppet. And inside, here's the mommy bird. She's going to sit on the nest. Oh, I hear birds. I wonder if you can hear those on the video. She's sitting on the nest, and she lays some eggs. This is a robin. This is called a robin. That's the kind of bird. And robins lay, gotta find the other ones here. I have 3 eggs in here. At least I did. Here's one, here's one. Here are the eggs in the nest. They're blue eggs. Robins lay blue eggs. This is how they are. And inside of each of these is a baby bird. So, the mommy sits on the nest and she keeps the eggs warm until one day in a couple of weeks, the eggs hatch out. The babies are born. They come out of the eggs. So the mommy is off of the nest, and I'll show you what's in here. Look, a baby bird. Another baby bird. Another baby bird. And do you know what? I have to put my fingers in these because they are puppets. Just a minute. Oh, these babies are so hungry. And the mommy and daddy birds go out and find bugs and worms for them and bring them in here. See, she has a worm in her beak. She brings it. This one says chirp, chirp, chirp. But when that one is eating, those two are still saying chirp, chirp, chirp. So she has to go and get more worms and bugs. She feeds them all, and they're hungry all day long. And the daddy bird helps too. He goes out and gets food for them, and so does the mommy, and they bring them and they feed the babies, and the babies grow until it's time for them to fly away. And they fly away, and next year they'll make some nests too. Gotta put my puppet back in there. I want to show you a couple of other kinds of birds here. This is a great big hummingbird puppet. Hummingbirds are not this big. They're much smaller. And did you know that they're called hummingbirds because they flap their wings so fast that it makes a humming sound? Because when they talk or chirp, they go. That isn't a humming sound. The humming sound comes from their wings. So this is my big hummingbird, so you can see it better. We have this kind in the garden. It has a red under here, has a long beak, and the reason it has this long beak is because it likes flowers. It gets nectar. It drinks nectar. That's its food is nectar. And it likes flowers. It has to stick its beak way in there to drink the nectar. Way in there. That's why it has that kind of a beak, so it can stick its beak way in there and drink the nectar. And I have one that is the real size of a hummingbird here. This is how big a hummingbird really is. But you hardly ever get to see them sitting on a branch. They're usually flapping their wings and going from flower to flower to get nectar. I have one other bird here. This is my crow. He's not a real crow, but he looks like a real crow. This is how big a real crow is. And they're all over this garden, and I'll bet they're in your neighborhood too. This one's made of plastic. But crows left these feathers for me in front of my house. And this is what they have on the outside, really, not plastic. This is a wing feather. It goes on the wing, and I lost my other one there somewhere. But crows have feathers on the outside. They don't have plastic like this, but they do look like that. And do you know what they say? Caw, caw. I'm sure you've heard that before, and if you were ever here in the garden, you heard it here, and you probably said caw, caw, caw with me too. Now these are my crow puppets. This is Jack. Does this look like a real crow? No, but they're lots of fun. This is Jack. Got to put Jill on my other hand here. There, Jill. Okay, this is Jack. This is Jill. And my shoulders are the hills because they sit on the hills. Two big crows sitting on a hill. One named Jack and one named Jill. Fly away, Jack. Fly away, Jill. Come back, Jack. Come back, Jill. Okay, let's do that with our hands. Here's Jack. Here's Jill. They're sitting on the hills. Two big crows sitting on a hill. One named Jack and one named Jill. Fly away, Jack. Fly away, Jill. Come back, Jack. Come back, Jill. And that is the crow song. Now, you know what? You probably can't hear this or see this, but I see and hear bees in the flowers. Bees are so important for flowers because they go from flower to flower and they take pollen to flowers. It's very important, or the flowers couldn't grow. Now, bees are very, very tiny. They're just about this big, and I don't have a little one to show you, but they're just about this big, and they say buzz, 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 buzz. You might hear them sometimes in the garden. I have a big puppet bee here, and I'll show you what it's like. Got to get some fingers in here. This is a big, great big bee, so you can see what they really look like. They have a fuzzy body. It's nice and soft if you ever got a chance to pet a bee. Here are the wings. It has 6 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. Antennas help them find out where the flowers are. Leads them to the flowers so they can find a flower. And big eyes, great big eyes. Bzz, and they love flowers. So I have a pretend flower here. Let's see, I'll show you my sunflower, because bees love sunflowers. In the middle of the sunflower is pollen and also nectar, like the hummingbirds like to drink nectar, and so do the bees. So the bees come, bzz, they get nectar, they get pollen, and then they fly back to the beehive. This is a beehive, and it would be much bigger for this size bee. But they fly back to the beehive and they make honey out of the nectar. They drink some and they eat the pollen, but they also make honey. Now this is a kind of a beehive that bees make on their own. Some beehives are made out of wood and they're like a box and the bees go in and out. But bees can also make a beehive all by themselves. And of course this is a toy. It doesn't look exactly like it. But this is a toy beehive, a pretend beehive. And a lot of bees live inside of this beehive. A whole family, big family of bees, and they all help each other. Some of them take care of the baby bees. Some of them clean out the beehive. Here's a bee coming out here. It's gonna come right out. Because some bees go out looking for flowers. Here's the antennas to help them find the flowers. This is just a toy, you can tell that. It's gonna find one of my fake flowers here. I think it will. Here's a good one. It likes this kind. So it comes to the flower, it drinks some nectar, it gets pollen on its legs, because pollen is like a powder. And it goes back to the beehive, takes it inside, and the bees make honey with that nectar that they got, and they eat some of the pollen. And I have a whole bunch of bees in here. I'll show you some of them. Here's one peeking out. They go in there and they don't want to come out again. There's one. Come on out, bee. Come on out. There's another one. There's a bee in each of these holes, but they're busy inside cleaning the beehive and taking care of the babies and making the honey. So let's make a beehive with your hand like this. Here is the beehive. Where are all the bees? Hiding away where nobody sees. They're inside of this beehive. Here they come creeping right out of the hive. 1 buzz, 2 buzz, 3 buzz, 4 buzz, 5 buzz, buzz. Fly away, bees, fly away. And now we're going to have a bee story. This is called the Happy Bee. Every morning the little bee flew from flower to flower. There's a daisy, a rose, a poppy. Hello, Daisy, says the bee. And I have a daisy here for you to see. There's a daisy. Hello, Daisy. And the bee flies away and says, goodbye, Daisy. Gotta turn the page here. Oh, I'll get my pink rose here. Hello, Rosie, says the bee. And he flies away. Goodbye, Rosie. What's the next flower? I forget. Oh, this is the poppy. And this is a much bigger poppy than poppies really are, but it was the only one I had. Hello, poppy. The bee gets some pollen and nectar from the poppy. Goodbye, poppy. And here's this lily again. Hello, lily. The bee gets nectar and pollen inside that lily. Goodbye, lily. Sometimes the wind blew and it blew all the leaves away, and it's blowing the bee too. He better sit down somewhere on a branch so he doesn't get blown away. Sometimes the sun shone. There's that sun shining and helping the flowers to grow. Sometimes the sun shone. Sometimes it rained, because you know that flowers and plants need rain too. They need water to grow. So sometimes it rained and the bee is sitting under a leaf. Sometimes the sun shone and it rained at the same time. And do you know what you get if you have sun and rain at the same time? A beautiful rainbow. Hello, rainbow. And that made the bee very happy. Buzz. Can you do that buzz with me? Buzz. Goodbye, bee. Now we have one more song about a flower. And this is my happy face daisy. And it has a flower. It has a leaf. It has a stem. The stem is the thing that it grows on that's so tall. So I'm going to sing about this daisy. I'm a little daisy, tall and thin. Here is my flower, my leaf, and my stem. When the sun comes up and the rain comes down, this daisy's going way down here. I grow up from the ground. Now I'm going to do this again. I'm a little daisy, tall and thin. Here is my flower and my leaf and my stem. When the sun comes up and the rain comes down, it's coming down. I grow up from the ground. Now see if you can do this with me without the daisy. And, okay, so I'm a little daisy, tall and thin. Here is my flower and my leaves and my stem. See, when I go like this, that's my stem because it's so straight and skinny. When the sun comes up and the rain comes down, go way down to the ground and pretend you're a daisy. I grow up from the ground. Should we do it once more? I'm a little daisy, tall and thin. Here is my flower and my leaves and my stem. When the sun comes up and the rain comes down, go way down to the ground. I grow up from the ground. Very good. I really like the way you did that. And now we'll sing our clap your hands song. Clap your hands together. Clap your hands together. Wiggle your fingers together. Wiggle your fingers together. Nod your head together. Nod your head together. Do this with your arms together. Do this with your arms together. Turn around together. Turn around together. Jump up and down together. Jump up and down together. Clap your hands together. Clap your hands together. Okay, now it's time to sing the goodbye song. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our friends today. Goodbye. Time for bubbles. Here's our lizard bubble pipe. And see how the wind is blowing the bubbles away? Goodbye. See you next time.